Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jade and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I read in March. I'm currently drinking coffee and it's 10 p.m. I'm probably going to be up super late, but I really wanted coffee. It tastes so good. March was a great month. I read so many good books in March. It was a really fun month and it was a very busy month. Like March is a blur. I traveled a lot in March. I traveled so much and I read quite a few of these books while I was traveling and it was just a great time. The first book that I read in March was Nightbane. This is the second book in the Lightlark series. I'm not going to talk about the book because it is the second book, but can we just take a moment for the cover? The cover for these books is they're so good. And not only is like the sleeve really pretty, look at the foiling. There. Like all hardcover books should have beautiful foiling like this. And the first book is the same. Like so pretty. It's such it's a pretty book to display without the sleeve. I'm gonna read the blurb for the first book just so you know like what the series is about. I have it right here. Welcome to the Centennial. Every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears for only 100 days to host a deadly game where the rulers of 6 realms fight to break their curses and win unparalleled power. Each ruler has something to hide. Each curse is uniquely wicked. To break them and save themselves and their realm, one ruler will die. In the first book, you have like a competition. All of these leaders go to one island. And it's good. The first book was a little bit confusing. I talked about it in my other video, but it was fun. It's a really easy read. I liked it a lot, but it was a little, I had a few issues with it. The second book I liked more. I liked the second book a lot. These books really keep your attention. I mean, they're pretty short reads. I like the magical powers. Some of the powers are like elemental, which I really like. And I like the character development. I like the characters that were like following this book a little bit more. I really want to know what happens in the third book. And I'm really glad that I got both of these in hardcover because this one, it might still be in hardcover right now, but the first one, if you want it in hardcover, you have to get it like on Amazon, and I'm really glad that they match considering how beautiful they are. I'm not going to read the blurb for this one because I don't want it to spoil anything, but it's not a 5-star. I gave it 4.5 stars. I still have like a little issue with some things in this book. I don't think it's deemed a 5. But still really fun. It is a love triangle, which isn't my favorite trope, but it was fun. And I don't think that these are the greatest YA fantasy books ever, but they're a good time. I really enjoyed it. And I breezed through this. This is so easy to read. Like just, something's always happening. And it leaves on this crazy cliffhanger. So like we need the third book. We need to know what happens. So that was the first book that I read, Nightbane. It was good. This next series, I'm a little like nervous to talk about because I know it's such a love series. And I loved it too, but I just want to make sure I do it justice. The second and third book that I read is this duology, which is These Hollow Vows and These Twisted Bonds. Now, why can't the covers be the same? Like this one is like satin and this one is shiny. Like who designed the cover for these? Like who decided to make them different? Normally I don't really like people on books. Like I prefer just a design more than like a person being on a book. It's just a weird thing with me. But I like how these look, other than the fact that one is shiny. Like I think that the The art is really nice, and I like the contrasting colors. They're like purple and yellow in both of these. I like them. This is a great YA fantasy. Everyone loves this duology, so I knew that I would love it. I was really excited to start it, and as soon as I finished the first one, I went to Barnes & Noble and I was like, I have to have the second one. I don't feel like a lot of fantasy books are duologies. Like, they're always like 3 or more books, so it's fun to just have a shorter fantasy where it's just like, you know, since this is a completed series, I knew it wasn't gonna like become 3 books, or like, I knew after the second book it was gonna be like done, and that was like a satisfying feeling. And since it is a duology, it's so fast. Like, to finish this story in 2 books, it was very fast paced, which I love because I like medium to fast paced books, so I liked that, like the pacing of these books. I'm gonna read the back of the first book so you get an idea of what the series is about, even though this is not a new series. I think the second book came out, oh, okay, the second book came out in like 2022? Okay, so it's relatively new, but I'm gonna read the back. Bree would do anything before making a deal with the Fae. Death is preferable to their vicious schemes. But when her sister is taken by a sadistic king of the unseelie court, there is nothing Bree wouldn't do to get her back, including making a deal with the king himself to steal 3 magical relics from the rival Seelie court. Gaining access to the Seelie court is easier said than done. Bree's only chance is to pose as a potential bride for Prince Rowan, the unseelie prince who's not quite as wicked as she once thought. Unwilling to let her heart distract her, she's accepted help from a band of unseelie misfits with their own secret agenda. But as Bree spends time with the mysterious leader Finn, she finds herself struggling to resist his seductive charm. Caught between 2 dangerous courts, Bree must decide who to trust with her loyalty and with her heart. It's a romantasy. Obviously, it's a love triangle. And again, love triangles aren't my favorite, but I feel like it was done really well. I think what also kind of convinced me, like I like seeing reviews of different authors on the back, and it has a really good review by Sarah J. Maas and Stephanie Garber. I mean, come on. Those are like 2 really good authors. 2 authors I really like. They were such an easy read. I like the magic system, it's cool. Our characters are really interesting and we like them a lot. These books make you, like every chapter, you have to keep reading. You want to know what happens. Like I said, they're super fast-paced books. And I read these while I was traveling and it was just such a fun time. Now I hate that I put the tabs on the top. I don't know what was like up with me in February and March that I put tabs on the tops of books. I mean, I'm sure you can do that, but I don't like it. I want them on the side. I think that's just kind of how people tab their books, like they're supposed to be on the side. I have one like random one on the side. Right there. Like I did something right there. You have morally gray characters. You have, it's like, these are the kind of books that make you like gasp because like something happens that you don't expect. So much happened in these books where I was like, wait, what? Like, it makes it so fun and interesting that they were very unexpected. At least for me, I felt like there was so many moments in the book where I was taken off guard, or how do you say it? I was surprised. It wasn't like super predictable. There was like betrayal and so many lies. It was so much fun. And I mean, they're short reads. It's just, like I said, it's just a fun time. I love these books. And I'm really happy to have them in my collection. I gave them both 5 stars. They were equally like so captivating. You're captivated by this story, and I gave them both 5 stars. The next book that I read, I finally read this book. I've wanted to read this book for like, since last year. Maybe October or November of last year. It is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Okay. I want to reread this book. I feel like I was robbed of this book. I listened to this on Audible. The sample on Audible had a British woman's voice. Very pretty voice. And I'm sorry, but then it's the rest of the book, like only parts of it like are with that woman's voice, and then it switches to a different narrator, and I think she ruined this book for me. I could not with her voice. The story is really good. It's very interesting. There's competition. She's living in this very deadly world. Like the ending was like, oh my God. It was very interesting, but her voice was so cringe. I'm gonna read the back. Human or vampire, the rules of the Human or vampire, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the nightborn vampire king, Aurea, carved her place in the world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kujari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy against the most vicious warrior from all three vampire houses. Most vicious warriors from all three vampire houses. To survive, Aurea is forced to make an alliance with the mystery rival. Oh my gosh. Aurea is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about, okay. I looked up the pronunciation and it said Ryan. I thought it was Rain. I don't know, I'm confused with the pronunciation of his name, but I'm gonna go by what Google said, and it was Ryan, is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, and an enemy of her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Can I read? Oh my God. Yet, what terrifies Aurea most of all is what she finds herself... Yet, what terrifies Aurea most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him, but there's no room for compassion in the Kujari. War for the throne of the House of Night brews, shattering everything that Aurea thought she knew about her home. And Ryan may understand her more than anyone, but her blossoming attraction could be her downfall in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. Everyone loves this book. I liked it. I gave it 4.5. And I'm wondering if I read it like myself or had a different narrator on like Speechify, if I would have rated it a 5. Like a narrator can really like ruin a story for you. Now, I'm not sure that vampires are my thing. I don't know. I know like some people like love vampires. I'm just not sure that they're really my thing. I don't know. But the competition in this book is really fun. It's also really fast paced. I'm learning that I like Carissa Broadbent. I read another one of her books in February. I like her writing. I like her characters. Like I'm excited to read more of her books. And I wish I bought the second book because now, of course, it's discontinued, just like they discontinued the first one to change the cover. I'm so like irritated with myself because I knew when I bought this, I was like, I should just buy the second one. I'm gonna love the first, and then I want to go into the second one. And I didn't. For who knows why. And now like this one was discontinued and now it's out, but this is the first edition with the blue serpent, and the new edition has like the green serpent. And now the second one's discontinued and I won't be able to get the paperback until November. Ugh, I'm so annoyed with myself. I like that Carissa Broadbent's books are like large. Like I like how she makes her books. So I gave it 4.5. I do want to reread this though. I did really like it. The ending was like competition. There's like horror aspects to this, like, and then like their story. It's a romantasy. We like them a lot. So, and it is enemies to lovers, but there are books where like they're really, really enemies. I don't feel like they're super enemies. For a while I was like, oh yeah, like they are enemies, like technically, but there are other books where like they're really out to kill each other and then they fall in love. And I just didn't feel that they were as much of enemies in this book. But I liked it. The last 2 books that I read in March, they were so good. I finally read Caraval. If you like YA and you like magic and whimsical aspects to your book, like morally gray characters just kind of being lost in this magical carnival, you have to read these books. And I know that these are not new books, but I mean, I just read them, so maybe there are other people that haven't read them yet. Now, I've wanted to read this for a long time. It's like a classic YA fantasy, like everyone has read this. And then I saw a review on TikTok, which did not like sway my opinion or anything, but I just thought it was curious that people, or one person was saying that it reads very young, that like some people don't like it because it feels a little too young. I like YA. I know YA is not for everyone, but I really like YA, and I didn't feel like it read younger than other YA fantasies that I've read. I thought it was beautiful, and like the story's so good, and I don't know, I didn't feel like it read too young personally, and I just thought they were so good. And I wanted to finish the third in March, but I ran out of time. I finished it beginning of April. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the second, but I'm going to read the blurb for the first so that you have an idea of what this is about in case you haven't read it. And yes, my book is broken. The spine, I bought the box set and the spine came off the first day. But I was not going to waste time returning it. I'm just going to fix it. And I actually have another copy of this. But that was really annoying that just like peeled off. Scarlet Dragna has never left the tiny island where she and her sister Tella live with their powerful, cruel father. Now Scarlet's father has arranged a marriage for her, and Scarlet thinks her dreams of seeing Caraval, the faraway once-a-year performance where the audience participates in the show, are over. But this year, Scarlet's long dreamt of invitation finally arrives. With the help of a mysterious sailor, Tella whisks Scarlet away to the show. Only as soon as they arrive, Tella is kidnapped by Caraval's mastermind organizer Legend. It turns out that this season's Caraval revolves around Tella, and whoever finds her first is the winner. Scarlet has been told that everything that happens during Caraval is only an elaborate performance, but she nevertheless becomes enmeshed in the game of love, heartbreak, and magic with the other players in the game. And whether Caraval is real or not, she must find Tella before the 5 nights of the game are over. A dangerous domino effect of the consequences is set off, and her sister disappears forever. Okay. I really liked the first book. It's so fun. Scarlet's dress, like I want her dress. I think what's so fun about these books is that they're all like a mystery kind of book. You don't really know what's real and what's just a part of the game. You're kind of being tricked, and you have so many morally great characters. It's so much fun. Now, I liked the first book a lot and originally rated it 5 stars. I'm taking it, I thought about it, I think it's a 4.5. So I finished this. It's such an easy read. It's so much fun. The second book, I heard that you read from a different character's perspective. And knowing that, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like it as much because I just want to stay with our original characters. This one is better. This is a 5 for sure. Like, our character that we follow in the second book is a much more interesting character, and she's so much cooler and like her story is a lot more interesting. So if you like the first, you're really gonna like the second. And I think, okay, if I had to kind of talk about like it feeling like a younger read, this one I would say would be a little bit younger. I don't even know if I like saying that. This one feels a little bit more, this one is the better book. And I feel like if I had to kind of pick one that felt a little bit younger, it might be this one. But still, like, no hate towards this book. It's amazing. This one though is like really, really good. And I'm not gonna read the blurb because I don't want to, it would spoil parts of this book, but this series hit home for me. Like The Cruel Prince. Now, The Cruel Prince is like, that has a very special place in my heart. Like I loved the Cruel Prince series, and I have not read the new, like the spin-off series, which I'm going to once they're all in paperback. I'm going to do that. But this is so close. Like this is really special to me. I love this series, and if you like The Cruel Prince, I feel like this is like very close to The Cruel Prince, I think. Ugh. And I really wanted to read this series because I want to read Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I know you need to read this first. And I didn't want to just get this over with to read those, but I knew like there's an order to them because that follows a character that is in these books. And I'm going to buy them. They're already in my Amazon cart, but I wanted them all in hardcover, so I'm getting them from Amazon. So much fun, so special to me. Magic carnival. It's like dangerous. You don't really know what's real, what's a game. You love the characters and the magic system. Like, they're just so good. And if you like YA and you haven't read these books, I'm sure like everyone has read these books, but they're so, so good. And I read them so fast. So I gave 4.5 and 5. That's where I'm standing right now with this series. So I'm gonna read Once Upon a Broken Heart. I'm gonna read that series. I'm gonna like take a break. I know I'm gonna miss this world pretty soon. And then I'm going to just like binge those other 3 books because I just loved them. So this is my stack. It was such a good month. It was such a fun month. I loved all these books. Like, they were so good. And I read a lot of these while traveling. So I love when like books, not only you have the memory of like what the book is about, but like when you read it and where you read it, what you were maybe going through, or the fun you were having at the same time, if that makes sense. And like these 4 books traveled with me, and it was really fun like to have a story, like reading a story while you're also like making your own story. Sounds really corny. But it was such a fun month. I recommend all these books, and I'm loving April too. Like April's not as easy of a month. Like I felt like this was really easy to read. All these books were easy reads. April's not the case, but really good books as well. So that's my stack. Before I say bye, I just want to let you know that I have a very large book haul coming up, and I'm just waiting for some books to come in the mail, and I might actually order a few more tonight because I have some on my list. But a very big book haul is coming, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my March wrap up, and I look forward to talking about my April books already. Like, I'm really excited. Have a great day. Oh my God. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I talk about my March reads. I keep wanting to say have a good day or have a good afternoon. Like that's my teacher brain. I almost said it again. Oh my God. Thank you for watching. Bye. Thanks for watching me. I keep making myself laugh. Thanks for watching me. Thanks for hanging out with me while I talk about my Thanks for hanging out with me while I talk about my March reads. I hope you. Oh God. I can't talk. Oh my God. Stay tuned for more videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.